Hey guys, today I want to talk with you about the feeding and why the feeding is so important when you play tennis. I'm going to talk about the feeding for coaches and for tennis players. And what is the feeding? The feeding is the way you play the ball to your opponent or to your students when you start the rallies, or when you feed the ball to your players and then they need to do the forehand or the backhand or whatever shot they are going to do. And the main thing, the most important thing on your feeding is not to do like a normal forehand, okay? This is the normal grip. The main thing is to do the Continental grip. So you hold the racket like that, okay? Imagine you have the hammer and you try to do this. Continental grip, once again, here for you to see better, here. And then you have two options. The easiest way, I'm going to try to explain first for players and then for coaches. So the first option is to just put the ball in front of you on your side, because usually no, we have to play the ball in our sides, okay, not in front of you. So where you want to play the ball is on your side, so you need to place your hand there, okay, and then instead of throwing the ball, you just keep your hand here and drop, opening the hand, not doing this, okay, because this is one of the biggest mistakes, and then you lose the control of the ball. So the idea is to put the ball exactly where you want to hit the ball. And to make it simple, if you are a beginner, for example, the ideal is just to drop the ball, one bounce, play, and stay with the racket like this. Really simple. I don't know, this is super simple in the beginning, but takes practice, of course, because I didn't born knowing how to do this. I needed to practice and I needed to fail a lot of times. So just keep trying until you get it. Continental grip, ball on your side, okay, here, and then just drop the ball, play, and stay here. Okay. The second step is to try to do without the bounce. It's much simple and looks more professional, like this. Okay. So basically what you're gonna do is you keep your hand here, you go a little bit up like this, okay, like this, a little bit, and go, okay. And the difference is, in the first option, your hand is facing down, okay, and in the second, your hand is the ball is facing up, and you just do a little bit up with the ball, not too much, okay. You cannot do too much, otherwise you also, again, the same, you lose the control of the ball. Just go a little bit, and while the ball is up, you do this with the racket, okay, this little loop here, okay, really simple. I will show you again, this, okay, and as you see, I don't do a lot of movements with my racket. Here, okay, the racket is opening and I go here. This, you really look much more professional when you play. And why this is so important? For example, if I go to a tennis match and I see a player feeding balls like this, I know probably he's not a great player, because he doesn't even know how to feed the ball, probably doesn't have a lot of experience, and gives me a little bit more of, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be a little bit easier to beat that guy, because I can notice that he doesn't have a lot of feeling, a lot of touch in his hand, so I'll be a little bit happier, okay? And as a tennis coach, now this is as a player, and as a tennis coach, of course, the feeding is exactly the same. I much prefer to do like that, okay? It's easier, but if you wanna give a little bit more of time, it's better to just drop the ball, play, and finish, and you give more time to your students. And another thing, just one of the common mistakes we do as a tennis coach, and sometimes I even do when we feed balls with the hands or even with the racket. Now I'm talking specifically with the racket, but usually what we do is we open the racket and we are waiting for the player. And we are here, we open and we are waiting. We are creating a lot of pressure to your opponent. So we feed one ball like this, okay? We feed one ball, he's gonna play, and when he's recovering, 1, 2, when he's almost doing the split step, we go another one. Don't create so much pressure opening the racket and being here waiting. Just create your own rhythm, your own spot, okay, like this, okay. Again, it's really simple. And as a tennis coach, there is another thing that I would like to talk, is that the place where you feed the ball. So you have a lot of drills, of course, and if you want to feed the balls with the racket, you have, imagine your players are playing from the baseline, you should be placed in one side of the court, in one place. If your students are at the net, you should be located in another spot, not the same. You need to create this difference, and you need to know where you should be depending on the shot your student is playing. So I'm going to show you now, okay, and let's see if I can help you with this. So the first option is when you feed balls to your opponents. I'm gonna put the ball here. The first option is when you feed the balls to your opponents from the middle. And when you feed the balls from the middle, usually your players are at the baseline and they are doing forehands or backhands. Okay, I'm gonna show you. You place your basket in this place here. I'm gonna put the camera a little bit more closer. Okay. And you just gonna feed the balls like this. If you wanna give him a little bit more of time, as I said before, just wait for the ball and then you play. I'm gonna show you again. Of course, you can feed the ball a little bit shorter, a little bit longer. This depends on you, depends on your opponent. You can feed the balls faster and slower. This depends. Your option depends also of the level of the opponent. And now let's imagine your students are gonna do forehand and then they're gonna do approach also. You wanna give them a little bit more of court, okay? And now depends if they are going to the net or if they are not going to the net. So, but usually every time they do the approach, I already placed myself a little bit more back, okay? I go to this side. I go to the baseline. Wait. I go to the baseline and I feed the balls from the baseline because it's much simpler for them and I give more court. And also if they play really good, I'm not always worrying in receiving the ball exactly on my body. So it's easier and I think better for you as a coach. I'm gonna show you. Okay, again the basket here and then just this here. Okay, one there. Okay, and you go through with the ball like that. See here. Okay, if you want the ball on that direction, you go with the racket there. Okay, if you want the ball in the other direction, you go there. Okay, it's really simple. And of course you can feed the ball faster. The idea is to just keep the balance. Now imagine your student is gonna do also the volley, and the placement is exactly the same. You're gonna give him a court, okay, and he can do the volley, he can do short volleys, short and cross, and even if you wanna try to do the smash, it's also much easier for him, and you are not gonna be afraid of getting the ball on you. Of course, then there is a lot of variations. You can stand a little bit more close to and depend of the exercise, but the main idea is when they do forehands and backhands, you are in the middle of the court, and when they do approach and volleys, you are near the baseline. Another thing. Okay, another important thing I'd like to say is I always like to have 2 or 3 balls on my hand, because depending on how many students you have in the other side, the idea is to have a dynamic lesson and they will not stop a lot of time. So you can always take 2 or 3 or 4 balls and you can feed the balls, okay? And when you have 3 balls, you feed one and you go to the basket, and then you feed again and you go to the basket, and the same system all the time. If you are a student, of course you can just put the balls in the basket, just play one ball, and I think about the feeding is all I would like to say. Just keep practicing, because it's not easy. Looks easy, of course, and it is easy because we do this for many hours. But as a beginner, it's not easy. But what I can assure you is that with practice, it's gonna become really simple. And you're gonna get like your hand. You're gonna improve your touch on the ball, and you get more feelings with the racket, and you're gonna start to look more professional, because in the end, if you want to play better, you also need to look more professional. And if you see how professionals feed the ball, they always feed like that, okay? You never see I never saw a professional feeding balls normally, so we should do what professionals do to be more professionals as well. Thank you for watching, and see you in this video right here. Bye bye.